The apple pie fogged the rental's windshield as I rolled into the Scottsdale Golf Club. I'm Lena, 30, fresh off a flight from Chicago to cook Father's Day dinner. I step onto the patio, and my brother Mark barks, "This year? Immediate family only." Then my mother Helen snatches the ribeye plated for me, scrapes it into the dog's bowl, and says, "Nobody's expecting you." My heart just dropped. Would you swallow that and smile? Or walk? I set the pie down and turned away. The gravel under my tires sounded like teeth on bone. If it were you, what would you do? Tell me in the comments. If this hits a nerve, tap like and subscribe. Because the next part, my payback, starts now. I'm sitting on the edge of a motel bed that smells like bleach and old smoke, staring at my phone like it's a courtroom, and I'm both the witness and the accused. The banking app loads line by line. $1,200 to a golf club I never joined. $800 for a case of Bordeaux I never tasted. $600 for ribeye. 12 cuts apparently, like I'm sponsoring a cookout I wasn't invited to. You ever feel your stomach drop so fast you swear you heard it hit the floor? That was me. And here's the hook. Every charge is on a joint card tied to me, hidden in a kitchen drawer at my mother Helen's house. My brother Mark once joked, "You're the family wallet with legs." Shock line? It wasn't a joke. I scroll further. Rides, dry cleaning for dog hair on cashmere, chew toys shaped like credit cards. I laugh. It sounds like a cough that hurts. You're probably thinking, "Lena, lock it down." I know. But when you come from a family that weaponizes guilt with Hallmark card precision, good daughters don't make money a problem. You learn to second-guess survival like it's a luxury you haven't earned. If you've ever held your thumb over the big red button and hesitated because love made you slow, tell me in the comments. I read every single one. I call my best friend Reagan because Reagan is the type who keeps receipts and spines. I hit screen share. My balances pop up like evidence exhibits. She breathes out once. Steady. "We're done being generous," she says. "Operating account first." She moves like a surgeon. Click, restricted. Reserve. Click, locked. Credit line. Click, dead. A red banner rises across the screen like a stop sign I finally recognize. I feel something settle inside me. Not peace, not yet, but control. "Now," Reagan says. "We pull back what was earmarked for Mark's startup fund. $150,000. Clean. It's your money. Memo it return of unauthorized allocation, and we'll timestamp the trail." I recite my routing number like a prayer I learned too late. Submit. The wire sits in pending, scheduled to clear at 6:10 a.m. Eastern. Before Mark blinks awake, before Helen calls me dramatic, before anyone can spin this as helping the family. If you're here whispering, "Yes, girl," hit like so I know I'm not the only one clawing her way out. Then Reagan does something that tilts the board. She forwards the transaction history to Mark's lead investor with 4 simple lines. Cap table, misuse, conflict of interest, urgent review. Not vengeful, accurate. My phone dings. Subject, immediate termination of commitment. If injustice ever punched you in the throat and then apologized to the wrong person, you understand the kind of trembling that feels like cold and relief at the same time. I didn't want him ruined. I wanted me safe. But here's the thing about boundaries. They expose who was leaning on you like scaffolding. When you step away, the structure shows its cracks. I pace the motel carpet with my bare feet, the AC rattling like nervous teeth. I can hear Todd Rundgren on a TV somewhere down the hall, a laugh track undercutting the quiet. I count my breaths. 4 in, 4 hold, 8 out. Am I overreacting? I ask the ceiling. But the charges on my phone refuse to blink. My mother's voice echoes from an hour earlier. "Nobody was expecting you." You ever watch a sentence push a person out of a life in real time? I did. It was me. I hit freeze on the last account and feel the air shift. Not in the room, inside my body. You can be daughter soft and steel solid at the same time. You can. It's legal. It's allowed. And if you're listening to this on your commute, or washing dishes, or lying awake because your family writes checks in your name and calls it love, I need you to ask yourself, What would you do? Would you press the button? Tell me below. Share this with the one friend who needs to rehearse saying no in her head before she says it out loud. Because here's the truth no one wants to admit. The moment you close the vault, the mask slips. And what looks back at you is not hunger, it's entitlement. We assumed, Mark once said, not even embarrassed. Tonight, I assumed something too, that I get to live my own life. And I'm cashing that assumption like a check that finally cleared. At 5:47 a.m., the motel door chirps like it unlocked itself. I'm up before the second knock. 3 sharp hits that rattle the chain. I peek through the peephole. Mark's hair is sticky with night sweat, and my mother is still in yesterday's blouse, clutching her purse like a weapon. "Open up!" Mark growls, waving a crumpled gas receipt. "You froze the card mid-pump. That's theft." I crack the door 2 inches, chain tight. "It's prevention," I say. My mother leans in. I can smell cold perfume and anger. "You're 30. No kids. Money is for family," she says, each word like a pearl she thinks is wisdom. There it is, the line designed to collapse my spine. Shock line for the people in the back. No kids is not a debt instrument. I dial the front desk. "Room 108. 2 people are harassing me at the door." The clerk doesn't ask questions. "Security on the way." Mark kicks the bottom of the door. The chain sings against the strike plate. "Unlock this, Lena. We're talking like adults." I swallow. "You ignored me at dinner," I say, calm in a way that scares me. "But you hear money." My mother hisses. "We drove all night. The dog hasn't eaten." I blink. "Your dog ate better than I did yesterday." The guards appear, steady, practiced. "Sir, ma'am, you need to leave. This is trespassing." Mark crumples the receipt in his fist. "You'll regret this." I meet his eyes through the gap. "I already did, for years." The door closes. The chain relatches. My hands shake, then stop. The room is so quiet, the AC's rattle feels like company. And then, this is the strange part. My phone buzzes with a tracking number from my great-uncle Walter. He's the one person who never cashed me in for parts. 3 days later, a plain envelope slides through my mail slot at home. Inside is a small black thumb drive labeled "For Lena." I plug it in, and Walter's voice fills my apartment. Warm, worn, a little out of breath. "Kid, I recorded this after they thought I was asleep." Click. I hear Mark's voice in the living room, smug and low. "Peaceful without her rules. No more budgets. Pass the remote." Laughter. Ice clinks. Then my mother on the phone, pacing. "She'll fund tomorrow. She always does. The check bounced. Don't worry, I'll wire it double. She owes us stability." Owes. I pause the clip and lean my head against the refrigerator door until the cool metal gives me something real to feel. Another click. Mark in the garage, voice echoing. "Series A's gone. Investors bailed. I'll freeze her out. Lawyer up." Tools slam. "Family first, right?" 10 seconds of silence that tastes like truth. Walter returns. "That's the last of it, kid. They don't see what's coming. Protect your pieces. You know how trauma is an echo, but love, real love, is an anchor?" Walter was the anchor. I copy the file into a secure folder, then eject the drive and slip it into my pocket like a talisman. People will tell you blood is thicker than water. I'm here to tell you leverage is thicker than both. Night falls again. A text from my mother lights the room. A photo of a burst pipe. Water ankle-deep in a basement. Time-stamped just after midnight. Emergency motel extension, $2,600. Send now, she writes. On another screen, Mark posts a bar selfie from 2 hours earlier. Deals on hold, drinks on me. I zoom in on the pipe photo. No crack, no debris. A garden hose coiled and conveniently open. I send $50 with a memo that reads, "Cost of the ribeye the dog ate. It's petty." It's perfect. She calls immediately. I decline. If you're tempted to write "savage" in the comments, I'll take it, but I'll also tell you the truth. My hands shook afterward. Boundaries feel like violence to people who benefited from your lack of them. They'll call it cruelty, they'll weaponize your kindness, and they'll count on your silence. If you're still with me, hit share. Someone in your feed needs the vocabulary for their no. The next morning, the other shoe drops. Credit monitoring pings. A new card opened overnight in my name. Limit 10 grand. Charges already posted. Casino chips and electronics shipped to my mother's house. I forward it to Reagan. 30 seconds later, she replies, "Meet me at the precinct at 9. We file a report." The officer is brisk, precise. "This is identity theft and financial harassment." He slides me a form for a restraining order. I fill it out with a pen that feels heavier than it is. "Temporary order granted," the clerk says. "No contact, 500 feet, no new accounts in your name." I walk into the sunlight, and it feels like changing time zones. The same city, a different day. A bank alert pings. Reversals initiated. Another message. Investors confirm the termination. I'm not dancing on anyone's failure. I'm standing on my own feet. Tell me, do you think I went too far? Not far enough? Would you have opened the door? Would you have wired the money? Drop your answer. And if this story has you angry on my behalf, keep watching. Because the third act is where consequences finally learn how to spell my name. Here's how escalation really works. When you stop being useful, people who were feasting start calling it famine. Mark tries to outrun a paper trail by sprinting into fraud. I answer with documentation. Reagan lines up disputes like dominoes. I push one and watch them fall. The casino freezes the chips. The electronics vendor flags the shipment. The bank closes the account, reverses the charges, and sends me a letter that reads like oxygen. Balance restored. Fraud protections extended. The precinct files the restraining order. The officer nods once, like a referee acknowledging a clean hit. I go home, make coffee, and for the first time in months, it tastes like coffee and not adrenaline. Then the world knocks again, but softer. I pass the old house on my way to the train and see a red foreclosure sign stabbing the lawn. The grass is brittle. A notice peels on the mailbox. Mark's LLC, dissolved. I don't cheer, I don't cry. I stand on the sidewalk and let the wind push my hair off my face. Choices have tails. These are theirs. Mine looks different now. A package waits at the post office. Walter's handwriting wobbling across the label. Inside is Max's stainless steel bowl. Heavy, familiar. The rim smudged by years of dog breath and roast drippings. There's a note. "He won't need this. You might need the last piece." Says, it's not a trophy. It's an artifact. I run my thumb along the rim until I feel the faint ring where grease used to sit. I slip the note into my pocket and carry the bowl home like a relic from a life that taught me everything I never want to repeat. In my apartment, I open my journal. I write, portfolio rebalanced, position 0. Underline, underline. No joint accounts, no shared credit, no signatures for anyone but me. That's the boring part of freedom no one puts in movies. New passwords, fraud alerts, credit freezes, two-factor everything. You do the unglamorous work and call it healing. And when the phone lights up, unknown number, blocked, private caller, you let it buzz out. Silence is also a sentence. Sometimes it's the only one that sticks. Later, I replay Walter's recording, not to re-injure myself, but to remember the shape of the trap. She owes us stability, me. My mother had said, like I was a 401k designed to mature into her peace of mind. I whisper back to the empty room. I owe me a life. That's not bitterness. That's balance. You can love people and stop financing their worst decisions. You can miss a version of someone who existed only as long as you were paying for them. And you can put down the guilt they handed you like a family heirloom and leave it right there on the mantle where it belongs. I walk past my camera set up on a cheap tripod, hit record, and start talking, voiceover style. Because sometimes the only way to turn pain into something useful is to say it out loud so another woman hears it and thinks, I'm not crazy. I'm not cruel. I'm correct. If that's you, double tap the screen, drop a comment. Share this with someone who needs a blueprint more than a pep talk. The blueprint is simple. Document, decide, do. You don't need permission to protect yourself. You don't need a committee to vote on your sanity. You need a plan and a witness. I had Reagan and Walter. Borrow them, metaphorically. Find your Reagan, your Walter. Be your own. The ending isn't fireworks. It's a quiet room where the fridge hums and you can finally hear yourself think. The restraining order sits folded in my glove box. The email from the investors is archived. The bank's fraud department has me on a first-name basis, in a comforting way, which is its own kind of grace. My mother texts from a number I don't recognize. Family helps family. I don't reply. Because here's my last shock line for you. Love with a ledger isn't love. It's debt by another name. And I'm paid in full. If you made it this far, thank you. Tell me where this hit you. In your gut, in your chest, in that tired place behind your eyes. Would you have pressed the button? Would you have answered the door? I'm listening. And if my voice helped you stand an inch taller today, hit like so the algorithm stops feeding us be nicer when what we need is be safer. Comment your story. I read them all. Share this with one person who needs permission. Because I promise you, the scariest part isn't closing the vault. It's realizing how easy it was to open it in the first place. And that realization, that's the start of the life you actually get to keep. The ending isn't fireworks. It's quiet. It's me at the kitchen table, coffee actually tasting like coffee, bank alerts silent for once. I changed the passwords, split every account, froze the credit, and wrote one line in my journal. Position 0. No joint anything, no more apologizing for keeping what I earned. And still, a whisper sneaks in. Am I in the wrong? For closing the vault? For stepping out of a role where love meant paying the bill and swallowing the insult? Here's what I learned. Boundaries aren't betrayal, they're oxygen. Document everything. Decide once. Do the boring safety steps nobody posts about. Choose the friend who brings truth over family that brings panic. And give your future self something to thank you for. Calm, clarity, and a locked door that stays locked. If this hit a nerve, talk to me. Would you have opened the door, sent the money, pressed the button? Drop your take below. I read every comment. If this helped you stand an inch taller, tap like so it finds someone who needs it tonight. Share with the friend practicing their no. Subscribe if you want more than a pep talk, if you want a plan, a spine, and a soft place to land. I'm not cruel. I'm finally careful.